Moo's rabbit for him. He can't seem to find it.
No wonder.
Where is it, Moo?
Where is your rabbit, Momo?
Where's the rabbit? Be careful walking past this bookcase, because if you walk past and you walk past it.
Go walk past it.
Everything shakes on it. As you can see by the
He's
man.
stuck. His leg's through. Come over this side. This is through his legs.
That is a classic throw. How on earth did I manage that?
Have you got it on camera?
Yeah. Oh, Momo, I'm sorry.
Momo.
Eddie's got the rabbit.
Momo, rabbit.
Rabbit. Oh! Yay! Momo got the rabbit. Momo got the rabbit. What you got, Momo? My rabbit. In my rabbit. I need to hide it. I don't want nobody getting my rabbit. There you go. That's the first time I've seen you happy. Oh, go on. You can jump up there. You've hurt yourself out there in the night time, haven't you? Go on. Up. There you go. That's a good boy. What else can you find? You think that smells of home? I know.
My pillow's back now, so don't film me.
Yeah. Now, Moo had an adventure in the night, didn't you, Moo?
Yeah, he jumped out into the garden.
We're not quite sure how or what happened, are we, Moo? Or how long you were stuck out in the garden.
Oh my god, I got another bug bite.
I haven't.
Oh, yeah.
What are you after, Boo? Something in there? That's Eddie's hoodie. There's nothing there, darling. Oh, it smells of home, I know. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I'm sorry. You want to play with the rabbit? You want to play rabbit?
Got no underwear on.
Can't see your underwear area.
Itchy.
Guess you're on the direct flight path through the window. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I'm playing with a rabbit.
Stay over me. Must have been while we were out there, because I had the duvet over me.
Okay, so it must have been when we were up in the forest. But I had bud stuff on, you were wet.
Oh, I made it bleed.
Well, you're an idiot. Momo wants to play rabbit. I need to go to the toilet, Momo.
Mummy needs a poo-poo.
Thank you for putting that on camera.
Like what you needed last night, though.
We need to find out why Momo went out in the garden, because neither of us heard you go out there.
Well, I think I did, right? I was scared. I had something in the garden, like, what?
Well,
But I'm not sure what it was.
excuse my hair, because I haven't even looked in a mirror this morning. But I'm very aware of Monty being right next to me when I'm sleeping, because he hasn't left my side since we've been here, really. And I was vaguely aware last night that he wasn't there for a while, but I don't know how long that was, because I was like in that sleep state. And then all of a sudden I was aware of something in the garden making a noise, and I started to get a little bit anxious, and I listened and I listened. I could hear branches cracking, and it suddenly became aware that it was going to be something bigger than, you know, your average mouse. So I listened a bit longer, and then it started coming towards the window, and I started getting my knickers in a bit of a knot, and then I thought, oh, I better man myself up. And then I was also at the back of my mind thinking, where's Monty? And there he was, jumping at the window, bless him. Like, he can't get in. So, I don't know how long he was out there. I know. He looks quite tired this morning, I'll give him that. He keeps going back to his resting state. Will you stop shouting, baby bear?
It's itchy.
Well, they will be if you itch it. I found another blinking Cedric. Hello, Cedric.
No, that's Sean.
That's Sean, the one here.
Yes, because Cedric's down there.
Okay.
Sean, Sarah and Cedric.
There's another one up there. What's that one called?
Stephanie.
That's Stephanie.
I get loads of points here.
Okay. What's that one up there called?
Stefan.
That's an even bigger version. Hello, Stefan.
Oh, we got a lot of Stefans.
Got a lot of Stefans.
Oh God, he's big.
Yeah, there's that one, and then there's that one, and then there's that one. Can I go up the stairs without hitting Stefan or Stephanie?
I did, so.
Right, it's about 3-4 in the afternoon and we're still here. We've been debating backwards and forwards about moving on or going elsewhere, but the reality is we can't afford it. So we're making the best of a bad job. We've decided to go and cheer ourselves up, despite the fact we've just ended up in tears because I brought this lead with us. And it belonged to the dog we lost, and we've not used it since. And I sort of brought it thinking it would be good for Monty if he to be on a static lead, but I wasn't expecting quite this reaction. It was Penny Dog's lead. So you join us just about to head out, try and find something nice to eat, go for a walk up the top of the hill, which you'll see in a minute.
Oh, I don't know if I was sweat or tears.
It's a bit of both, I think. The next problem we've got is the front door won't lock.
Oh my God.
We've been barricading it like this because it just won't lock.
I've got to take that. That's what
I've put my wrist out, or done something to my wrist trying to do it. It just won't bloody lock.
Oh my God, I need tissue now.
Kitchen roll. There is some kitchen roll.
Oh my God, I'm dying of heat.
Yeah, well, let's get out of this joint. I don't think it'll be any better outside, but
Get in a car.
yeah.
You
Right.
want some?
No, I'm alright, Boo. Right, so we're going to try and do that. We'll probably catch you on the hill. So, Bear Fam, you find us in
I think I'll stay here now.
a supermarket. Baby Bear's been inside in the air
That's quite
conditioning.
nice out here. It's a bit cold in there.
It is very chilly, yeah.
We went around the whole supermarket.
And not much to see.
Just like ours, really.
Yeah.
I need to talk to someone about me.
Right, go and find the toilet then, because there must be I'll go first and I'll find it for you. Hold the dog. Right, we're off to find the toilet, Bear Fam. Oh.
No, I'm not. You don't look very chuffed.
Water's around here if you need to. Do not let anybody steal our stuff.
Carry on.
No, okay.
Notre magasin s'est équipé d'un nouveau système. Si vous souhaitez le conseil d'un vendeur, pressez sur les bornes signalées par les affichettes
And
Appel
toilets.
vendeur.
Got a bug bite. Right, let's go find Baby Bear. Back to Baby Bear.
That's why I didn't go in my bag at the minute.
Yes, fine. Here, Moo Moo.
Mummy, can you not film?
Of course, Bear Fam, the problem I didn't anticipate was that the dog wouldn't be allowed in the supermarket and that the car's too hot and I don't really want to leave him in the car, in the house. Sorry, talking dog. So I've had to let Ellie go and have a wander around on her own. I'm going to have to go in there on my own in a minute and get some essentials because we're out of water. We need some sort of sandwich making stuff. Some drinks. Some bits and bobs. But it's almost deserted and there's nobody in there. We tried to get a sandwich. They do a drink, a sandwich, and a dessert for $6.50. But we were Plutar. So unlike in England where they serve food all day, every day, clearly not the case en France. Anyway, baby bear's just popped off to the loo. And then I'm going to leave her and my boo while I go and get some groceries. Because we can't go without water, Moo, can we? The lady here kindly brought Monty a bowl of his own with water and had some ice cubes in it to make it cold for him, which I thought was really, really sweet. That's the lady from one of the ladies from the supermarket. She's obviously off for the day. Is it about to shut or something? I don't really understand what's going on. Why would the cafe be shut? Oh, I don't know what's occurring. Oh, the car park's virtually empty. I do not understand what is occurring. Oh, car park is empty. Anyway, wait for Boo to get back from the lavatory. And I've got to convince her that I go shopping on my own. Would have been nicer to do it together, to be honest. But the dog would literally die in the car on his own. So she can either sit here with the dog or sit in the aircon cars. Choice is entirely hers.
Tables, there's some frozen stuff. We've got a lot in the thingy, in the boot. I haven't got my seatbelt on. We'll just do that quickly because we're driving.
We managed to stock up on...
Be safe, kids.
We stocked up on water, beer.
Did we get water?
Yeah,
We went there.
nearly
That's-
went over there to get like,
Yeah, we were nearly
the
going to
inflatable.
we were
We'll have to
going
come
to go
back.
there. But we didn't. I didn't go with her. Is it that one or that one?
They're both the same thing.
Oh,
They've got a home store on the side of it.
yeah, I know. I went in there. Other side, hello.
Well, they might have an inflatable. Just come back tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a petrol station there.
Oh, yeah, should I fill up?
Yeah. Look at this view.
We'll get to that.
Later, I think we're going to go up to the bar, take me for a walk.
Excuse my language.
We're just having a bit of a problem.
How is that? There's nobody here to pay. How do you do that then? Put a card in?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be normal. I'm not sure my card works yet. No, I'll give it a go. Worth trying at any time of the day and night.
At least there's no one here to accuse you.
No, this is true. There's nobody here to watch me make a tit of myself.
But these stretch.
It's in English as well, isn't it?
Huh?
It's in English. No, it's not. Can I have a card out the back of there? Oh, just turn the aircon on. I can't have this on in a petrol station, people. You have to wind the windows down. You can't have the aircon on.
Me now, hey. Hi Dad, if you're watching. I don't know if you will be or not, but... So hot, I'm dying. Where's the baby? There he is. Can you see how hot I am? That's not burn. That's heat. Mummy.
Hello, yes, not when I'm feeling stressed would be a good idea.
Oh, that's hot. Stay, Moo Moo, stay. Sorry, you saw my mouth. That's disgusting. That's just so mummy. Hey, you're getting in the way. I don't know what she's doing. There's a Moo. He's just concentrating on his mummy, he is. It's like, I don't even know what degrees it is. Let me just check it out.
95 degrees.
No wonder we're hot. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, no.
And we need to do the sat nav. Let me just quickly show you quickly. Okay, this 5, 6, 1. Did it say the degrees on there?
No, darling, I haven't got a posh car.
We have a very cheap car. But at least it has aircon.
Days of old, it wouldn't have had that.
Don't think it's going to work. I'll show you when we get back to the thing. Bye bye, because we need to sat nav.
Hey, Betham, so we've just had our tea. I've hoovered up, cleaned up a bit, feeling a bit happier. I've opened up one of the shutters to let some light into the lounge area, which helps it feel less claustrophobic. It's up in the air as to whether we're going to be staying here, to be honest. This morning I was searching out other properties, not sure. There's not a lot around in this area this time of the year. August is the month when all the French people leave wherever they are and tend to head for the coast. So there are few places available. There are some, but of course we're on a tight budget, which doesn't really make doing things sort of last minute or on the hoof very easy. And it's very hot. We did head out and get water and drinks and a few bits and bobs today from the shop. We're in discussion, I think is the politest term, with the owner of the property. It's difficult because, let me explain, because everybody's been asking questions. The lady that sits our dogs and has done for a couple of years, sort of 1 or 2 weeks a year really, will go off on holiday. She'll live in our house. And she used to come up from France to do that, live in the house, and then we'd pay her for doing it. Now the going rate for that was about £225 a week. Now, she was asking me earlier in the year about whether I'd need her this year, and I was like saying, not really, haven't got the money to go away this year. But come my pension, I should be able to do a few more bits and bobs. And she said, oh, well, what about my house in France? Now, I knew she'd lived down here, so I assumed that it was up together, finished, and not so much of a renovation project in the making. She also told me that her sister lives down here, so I sort of assumed that I knew it was going to be a bit rough around the edges. I have to say I pretty knew that, but I thought it would be clean. I thought because her sister was down here that she'd be in, she'd have swept, she'd have mopped floors, she'd have cleaned away like really old cobwebs. I mean, the lady that owns it says that French houses have spiders and you have to get used to it. And that's me being silly. But, I mean, literally, as I'm sitting here in the lounge, I can see 1, 2, 3, and there's the triplets over there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, from what I remember.
Yeah, and that's just where I'm sitting. But then on top of that, there are all the cobwebs. Hang on a minute, Moo wants to come up. 1, 2, 3, up. There are all the cobwebs from all the old ones. And then there's, things like the fireplace. You just look at it. I mean, yes, I know fires are dirty things. And yes, I accept the, the charcoal, whatever you call it, on the back. But I would expect, like, the filth round there and all the cobwebs round there. And, like, it reminds me of Aunt Hathaway's cottage in Dickens' novel, that is. Aunt Hathaway's cottage, is it? Where it's all lots of cobwebs and things. So, I think to say the lady was unhappy with us criticising the property would probably be an understatement. She thinks I've been unreasonable and I think she's been unreasonable, so we're sort of at a bit of stalemate, to be honest. Anyway, I was telling you about the financial deal, wasn't I? So she said have my house in France. Now, I said, oh, I'd love to go long term, but it's too far to drive for like a week or 2 weeks. And she said, we'll have it, you know, let's do August. And I said, well, I couldn't possibly afford that. So we came to an agreement whereby I would pay, I think it was 400 for this, 400 quid for this for the month. And then I would pay her £500 to look after the dogs. Now, that's half price on the dogs, essentially, because she normally charges £225 a week. So essentially I'm getting a free, what she would say is I'm getting a free house for a month for the cost of her looking after the dogs. Now clearly one of the dogs is sitting here. Because of my anxiety and my various issues, I wanted to bring my living teddy bear with me. Sorry, it's so hot, I'm just literally melting. So the question is really whether to, I mean, the difficulty is if we leave, I think she's likely to turn around and say, sort your dog out, I don't want to be here anymore. Which is going to cause inanimate problems. In other words, you know, I've got nobody to have him. I've got perhaps one person I could potentially ask. But then that doesn't help me with the birds and the mouse. So I just about got myself to a point where I thought I could stay here for the month. When we had our final message that we've had up to date from the lady, saying that she wanted me to take down the vlog from yesterday, as I'd not asked her permission to show the house, and she didn't want herself associated with the vlog. So I've sent back a message saying, how would anybody work out where it is? We've not shown the address, the exterior, and nobody knows who you are. And anyway, if there's nothing wrong with the place, why is there any reason to take it down? But I think the best all-round description of the situation is that neither parties are happy on either side of the fence. She's not happy with us, and we were expecting more of here. But still, there are some alternatives. We shorten our holiday, and we find there are some cheap sort of airport hotels that are still free. Literally, you know, the one room. A couple did have a swimming pool. But then how do we eat if we've not got kitchen facilities? You know, that's not going to work. There was a camping further down near Toulouse, but there's slightly more, you know, it's 700 for 2 weeks. And then that's before feeding ourselves and paying for petrol to get there. I'm feeling glad that I didn't book the return Eurotunnel crossing. And that we do have the flexibility of just travelling back and going home. The other alternative, I found a camping site with a slot for a tent free. That was quite cheap, that was £200 odd. But of course then we'd have to go and buy the tent. And I'm not sure I could cope with living in a tent. Not that sort of tent anyway. Alright, It's time to edit, time to get another beer. And hopefully the sun will go down soon and we'll take His Royal Highness out for a trundle. Right, we will catch you on the morrow. So that's where we've got to so far. I've done some cleaning, done a little bit of shopping, just about got my head around it. Bam, and then another like thing. Sorry, I got drips of sweat running down me. Terrible, terribly hot. Right, I'm gonna love and leave you. We'll catch up with you tomorrow, Bear Fam.